Hi, welcome to Chapter 5 in our entrepreneurial study. This week, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of what kind of business you want to open or thinking about opening or you would like to investigate further. There's a couple of things you really need to make sure you keep in mind. Do you want to get rich? Well, some of you do, some of you don't. I can promise you this, all of you want to have a decent standard of living. 10 years from now, if you're not there already, you're likely going to have a husband or a wife, maybe, I don't know, house payment, a car payment, a dog and a cat, and life will sort of press in on you. You've got bills to pay. You got student loans to pay. I hope not much. Be careful about that. But you want to get rich. Well, let me tell you, getting rich, you have to do a couple of things. You're making money, even making a living. You've got to be willing and able to provide a good or service that other people are willing and able to pay for. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're building rockets or digging ditches. You've got to provide a good or service that other people are willing and able to pay for. The richest people in the world, and we can just talk about the Amazon guy, Bezos. You know, he didn't start out being super rich. I think he came from a nice family and all, but dropped out of school to start a business. And, we can be critical of him for being one of the richest men in the world. But on the other hand, who made him rich? And the answer to that question is you did. And I did. You made him rich mainly so that he would be the richest man in the world. Is that correct? Well, duh. No, you didn't. You made him rich because you decided it was in your best interest to do business with him. He offered you a product or a good or service that you're willing and able to pay for, and you chose by your own free will to buy his product. And so that's what you have to do to get rich. Now, you don't have to do it. You don't have to be rich, but you can open up a hair salon and do quite well by providing a good or service that other people are willing and able to pay for. You've got to find your own little niche. Now, it could be a niche as simple and new and unique, specific to the internet, of buying books online. And look where that took Amazon. Not only are they the largest book retailer in the world, they're the largest internet retailer in the world. So he took that one little thing, and he could have stopped there and became wealthy. He kept on. He had one vision after another, and it made him extremely wealthy. Now, again, you may not want to be that wealthy. Most of us wouldn't turn our nose up at it. However, most of us won't ever get there probably. But the point is, he didn't have a great big secret of becoming wealthy. You could say that his secret is an open secret, and that is to provide a good or service that other people are willing and able to pay for. And that's how you make money. And the whole purpose of entrepreneurship ultimately is to make money, because you have to have money to live, not to get rich. You may not want to do that. The guy running a corner gas station who's there 6 a.m. in the morning and 6 p.m. at night, he's not getting rich. The guy who owns the restaurant, who's there for 72 hours a week, he's not there because he's, making all kinds of money. It's a labor of love for him. And hopefully it would be the same for you as well. But nonetheless, if your business can't make money, it won't be a business very long because you won't be able to survive. Pay attention in the book today to the examples of people who followed their dream and followed their passion and were successful in doing that. the lady who opened Spanx Hose or whatever they call it. I don't know the guy. Got rich by taking a good idea and just going with it and developing it into something that other people were willing and able to buy. And so, you have to have demand for your product. You've got to have resources, and you've got to have somebody whose market structure and size can support you. In other words, you can't open a super center in a little podunk town of 1,000 people. Sam Walton opened Walmart in Podunk, Arkansas. Decided that wasn't really a big enough way to do business, so he expanded his way of doing business, changed with the time, and became quite successful. So when you're doing your final decision this week as to what business you're going to develop your business plan on, be sure to think about this. Your whole goal really is to, again, make money, but to provide a good or service that other people are willing and able to pay for. Plain and simple. If you can't do that, find another business. Same with your career, actually. If you're not that good at your career, or if you can't find somebody willing and able to pay you what you need to do, get another career. I did, and so can you. If you make wrong choices, it's not the end of the world, guys. If you get, some of you have been fired from jobs before. I've been fired from jobs before. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. But, a famous guy on TV once says, and he's very famous now and has a very successful TV program. He says he's been fired 3 or 4 times, and every time he wound up improving himself, bettering himself, because oftentimes being fired just means it's not a good fit. Losing your business just simply means you made a mistake and it wasn't a good fit. It doesn't mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a failure or a bad person. In this country, it doesn't. In some countries, it does. But the culture in our country is, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. So have that kind of an attitude, a fighter attitude, and develop your business plan. Next week, we really get down to brass tacks about how am I going to make my business a success. With that said, I hope you have a good week once again. And keep in mind, success doesn't come from always being right. It comes from learning from your mistakes. Have a good evening, and thanks for stopping by today. Bye now.